The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zarthik of the Velkron Dominion slammed 3 of his appendages against the crystalline podium. His bioluminescent scales flickered with indignation as he addressed the assembly of over 400 species. "These humans," he hissed, his translator rendering his disgust in 17,000 languages simultaneously, "are insane." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. It had been 3 standard cycles since humanity had joined the galactic community, and in that short time, they had managed to horrify, confuse, and alarm nearly every civilization they encountered. "They keep predators in their dwelling spaces," continued Zarthik. "Not for food. Not for protection, for companionship." In the human delegation box, Captain Sarah Chun suppressed a smile. Beside her, the reason for today's emergency session sat quietly, his tail thumping against the floor. Cub, though he was hardly a cub anymore at 90 pounds, was a German Shepherd. Earth designation Canis lupus familiaris, and according to 372 alien species, an absolute abomination of nature. The Velkron ambassador brought up a holographic display. This creature's ancestors hunted in packs. They brought down prey 3 times their size. They have teeth designed for tearing flesh. His voice rose to a screech. And the humans let them sleep in their beds. Cub's ears perked up at the tone. He looked at Sarah, who scratched behind his ear a gesture that caused several delegates to gasp and reach for their emergency evacuation devices. "If I may address the council," Sarah said, standing. She was tall by human standards, but diminutive compared to most species present. Yet there was something in her bearing that made even the massive Corvinthi war chiefs pay attention. "Proceed," rumbled the council arbiter, ancient being whose species had been mediating disputes for eons. "Cub here represents something fundamental about humanity," Sarah began. "Something that explains why we've survived everything our planet has thrown at us. Something that explains why we're standing here among the stars." She gestured to the holographic images still, floating above the chamber wolves hunting, teeth bared, eyes gleaming. Yes, his ancestors were apex predators. And yes, our ancestors were their prey. Sarah paused for effect. But somewhere along the way, we did something that apparently no other species in this galaxy has done. We looked at the thing that wanted to eat us, and we asked, what if we were friends instead? Confused chirps and electromagnetic pulses of bewilderment filled the chamber. "Impossible," Zarthik declared. "Predator and prey cannot coexist in harmony. It violates every natural law of evolution." "Does it?" Sarah knelt beside Cub, who immediately nuzzled her hand. "Or does it represent evolution's ultimate victory? We didn't conquer wolves through force. We didn't exterminate them. We befriended them. We found common ground with creatures that should have been our mortal enemies." She stood again, her voice growing stronger. "And that's just the beginning. We've done the same with cat's ambush predators that kill for sport. With horses prey animals that could crush us with a single kick. With birds of prey, with reptiles, with creatures from every branch of Earth's evolutionary tree. We've taken the wild and made it family." "Madness," whispered a Centauri delegate. "No," Sarah countered. "Hope, because if we can bridge the gap between human and Volth, if we can find love and loyalty with creatures that evolve to fear or hunt us, then what's stopping us from doing the same with you?" The chamber erupted in debate. Sarah waited for silence, then continued. "I've read your histories, all of you. You've had wars, genocides, conflicts that lasted millennia. And most of you resolved them the same way, through dominance, through separation, through keeping the other at arm's length." She gestured broadly at the assembly. "Even now, most of your species don't truly integrate with others. You cooperate, you trade, you maintain diplomatic relations. But you don't connect." She placed her hand on Cub's head. "This dangerous predator would die for me. He's saved human lives in burning buildings, found lost children in wilderness, detected diseases before our own scanners could. And we've done the same for him, given him purpose, protection, love. We don't just coexist. We've built something better together than either of us could be alone." "Pretty words," Zarthik sneered. "But what does this prove beyond human foolishness?" Sarah smiled. 3 months ago, your colony on Tarvis V was hit by a seismic event. Your people were trapped under rubble. Your rescue team said there were too many casualties, that the debris was too unstable for systematic searching. Zarthik's scales rippled, the Velkron equivalent of a frown. Humanity sent a team of 12, Sarah continued. 11 humans and one search and rescue dog named Luna. In 72 hours, Luna found 47 survivors that your scanners had missed. 47 of your people who are alive today because a human trusted a Wolf's descendant to save lives instead of take them. The chamber fell silent. Sarah could see it in their eyes, their sensory organs, their electromagnetic fields, the moment of realization. You call it insanity, Sarah said softly. We call it hope, the hope that nothing is irredeemable. That yesterday's enemy can be tomorrow's friend. That evolution doesn't have to be about survival of the fittest, it can be about survival together. She looked around the chamber, meeting as many eyes as she could. We're the species that looked at the apex predators of our world and said, "Good boy." We're the species that takes broken things and makes them whole. We're the species that truly believes, that anything can change, can grow, can become more than what nature intended. And that, she concluded, is what we bring to this galactic community, not just our technology or our resources, but the certainty that the gaps between us, no matter how vast, can be bridged. That predator and prey, human and alien, can stand together, can laugh together, can live together. Cub, perhaps sensing the moment, stood and wagged his tail, looking around at the assembled aliens with the same trusting, hopeful expression that had won over humanity 30,000 years ago. The vote was unanimous. Humanity's membership was ratified, and the Council issued its first joint declaration, a galaxy-wide initiative for cross-species integration and understanding. As Sarah and Cub left the chamber, Zarthik approached, his scales showing colors of uncertainty. Captain Chun, he said carefully. My daughter. She has been having nightmares since the Tarvos incident. Your Luna, would she? Sarah smiled and placed a hand on his appendage. Therapy dogs are trained for trauma support. I'll have Luna's handler contact you. As they walked away, Sarah could hear Zarthik murmuring to himself in wonder. Cub looked up at her, and she could swear he was smiling. Good boy, she whispered. Very good boy. In the end, that's what saved humanity's place among the stars, not their weapons or their ships or their technology, but their unshakable belief that the brave cub who learned to laugh with them could teach the whole galaxy to do the same.